You got your stuff on, right?
What stuff?
That stuff. Good.
I'm not alive.
I'm barely alive. As you can
Jeez.
see, we have headphones on now, so
Yeah. For a very specific individual, Mr. Sean
mhm.
Thompson, Mr. Sean Thompson. Um, when you're listening to this, I want you to call my phone. You have my number, so call my phone. We're going to try to get you live on the air. We're going to try this live. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah, I love how you do
Fuck it,
that
we'll do it
all the
live.
time. You're like, you know what? We haven't tried this, but we'll just wing it. I'm like,
That's what this
dude,
show's all about, baby.
we're not Buffalo Wild Wings, we're not wings and things, we're not that, and you're just like, eh,
I'm a wing stuff.
it'll be all good. So,
So hopefully we'll be able to hear him. He'll be able to hear us.
what are we
And
smoking tonight?
we are smoking a Karen Burger. Karen
Okay.
Burger Cameroon,
Mm.
which is my favorite of her offerings. The reason we're doing this is there's an event coming up,
Yeah,
October 3rd.
I
So
was seeing that on the Facebook page and the Instagram for Low Side Cigar Lounge.
absolutely. So until that event, we'll be smoking Karen Burgers,
All right.
which yeah, twist your arm to smoking a good cigar.
Yeah, that's not very difficult at all. So,
Okay, I've got the recut on here. We're gonna light this candle, Hiroshi. So we got some interesting things to talk about.
really,
Yeah, it's starting to get to be silly season. I like silly season.
well, when you say silly season, I actually have to wonder exactly what you mean by silly season.
We're gearing up for next year's election.
Oh,
But
yes.
there is no one this year. We're gearing up now. Now. We just get started for silly season.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a good and bad type thing. Like, I really don't mind that they're gearing up already. It's just the aspect of like I'm not looking forward to the 6 months prior to when all the signs are up all around town.
Exactly.
When you have constantly inconsistent like here's a sign, here's a sign, and it's like nah.
I think Bill Ingvall said it well. Here's your sign.
Yep.
So the good news is we're going to be getting some interesting folks come on the show to
Okay.
fill that third little chair. I've already got commitments from 3 candidates in District 5. I've got a commitment from the incumbent public administrator,
Okay.
and we have a tentative arrangement with the current sheriff.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because I saw the advertisement, or not the advertisement, but he actually said that he was running
Mm-hmm.
again. So
He's running for re-election, which is good. I'm in favor of consistency. He's done some good things.
yeah,
Nobody's happy with everybody.
yeah,
So we want to get him on, and if you're a candidate for office and want to, talk to us, you're more than welcome. We're not going to try to ham you up or ask you hard questions.
well, I mean, I'm literally like I always love trying to stump people, but I'm not also one of those people that's going to ask you an asshole question just to ask you the asshole question. I'm going to
Yeah,
ask you questions that like are pertinent to us, like, hey,
exactly.
what are things that you've done in the past or attempted to do in the past that was blocked?
Yeah, describe to me the job.
Yeah,
Make sure you know what you're doing.
definitely. Because if all of a sudden you start talking about, well, I want to do this, and it's outside of your wheelhouse,
Mr. Lou Baker, the public administrator does not administer the public.
mm, so that was a big time thing. But for anybody who tuned into Saturday's show,
Okay.
you know that we were talking about smoking cigars in the park and
We were.
how they got threatened, or the little league teams or the teams that were out there would say that their permit would get
Pulled.
pulled if they allowed people there to smoke, which I was like, what the piss? Now, I did go through, I actually did find something. It was actually, believe it or not, on the best site that I could find was BLM.
So Black Lives Matter?
No, the
Better
Bureau of
looking men?
Land, well, there's definitely better looking men than us. Uh, dude, Ryan Reynolds. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I'm just saying.
Just yeah.
Fair enough.
The Ryans, is that what you're saying? I was like, yeah, it's my middle name. Okay, that's all right. But you had the question about like where is this coming from? How are they doing that? And it's actually what was put out. And like I said, the only place that I could see it was in full access was on the BLM website.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
so they went through and said, hey, these are the agencies that kick in for stage one fire restriction, way back when.
Okay. And we are under that, so
And it
fair enough.
falls under Nye County Department of Emergency Management, Pahrump.
So Scott Lewis.
Okay? Which, yeah, so much fun.
He'll bungle that too.
Well, in that, that's where all of a sudden you start looking at it and it goes building, maintaining, attending, or using a fire, wood, charcoal, or any other material, campfire, or stove fire,
Tobacco. Okay.
except for by permit and when it's in a developed fee campground or picnic area. Following stoves permitted are portable stoves using gas, jellied petroleum, or pressurized liquid fuel. So
Okay. So
these are
this sounds like it deals with campfires.
yeah, this is literally like stage one fire restrictions. Then it goes into smoking, except for within an enclosed vehicle or building, a developed recreational site, which most of the time when you're talking about a recreational site, you're talking about
A park.
no, a camp pad.
But
And
parks
here's the
fall under
reason
the
why I say
Department of
this.
Parks and Recreation.
Or when it stopped in an area at least 3 feet in diameter that is barren or cleared of all flammable materials. I'm sorry, if you're standing in that area, you're also flammable.
So
So, so how are you going to sit there and be like, it's cleared of all flammable material until I stepped in? But then it talks about operating or parking vehicles or other motorized equipment over or on top dried or cured vegetation, welding, metal grinding, or operating acetylene or other torches with open flame, except for by permit.
I need a permit to grind on my work stuff there at the house.
Apparently so. And this is one of those things where I actually looked at it, and the big one that put this out there was BLM. I could actually see their PDF file of the page
Okay.
that they pushed out. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But I haven't seen anything for Pahrump. I go onto the fire page. I don't see anything there.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, that's crazy that I'm having to go to BLM, which we do have BLM around here, but that doesn't govern.
I believe Old Man Dave helped put a stop to that. Because all these regs sound like they deal specifically with like outdoorsy type areas,
Mm-hmm.
not developed in town places. Like, do I really need a permit to grind my welds? Do I really need a permit to use my little pitter patter?
So the only thing that I can think of for that would be construction. If you were doing construction and something of that nature, that's where it's there. But it does have it in there that you're not allowed to do that
Look,
except for by a permit.
according to this bullshit, I'm not allowed to smoke on my damn front porch.
Mm-hmm. Mm. No, you would be permitted except for a developed recreational site or when stopped in an area at least 3 feet in diameter,
Right.
barren or cleared of all flammable material.
You sat on my porch, right?
Yeah.
You sat on my porch.
Uh-huh.
I've got a couch.
Yeah.
The chair is flammable.
Well, eventually.
And the chair is within 3 feet of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got pine needles within 3 feet of that.
Yeah, see, that would be that I could see them being that's the flammable material. And that's where I was making the joke about literally like so I'm supposed to like have my windows all rolled up because it's supposed to be in
An
an
enclosed
enclosed vehicle.
So here's my next question. I got a motorcycle. Can I smoke my motorcycle? It's not enclosed.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I was like, this literally sounds more so like, hey, like it was written from BLM or National State Parks, because when you start going through that list of places, the first one that is agencies that are talking about Bureau of Land Management, Bureau of Indian Affairs, Bureau of Reclamation, National Park Services, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services, U.S. Forestry, and then finally it goes into Nevada Division of Forestry. Then it finally goes Clark County Fire, Nye County Department of Emergency Management, Pahrump, Henderson Fire Department, Las Vegas Fire and Rescue, Mesquite. And this is where it's crazy is when you go down later on and you go, cool, Nye County, restrictions prohibit the discharging of fireworks, pyrotechnics, and incendiary devices. Then it goes into,
Unless you have a permit.
no, no, no. This is specifics for Nye County. It says restricted, prohibited discharge of fireworks, pyrotechnics, and incendiary devices. Then it goes into Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, going all burning is prohibited from May 15th through November 1st. Property owners are required to obtain a burn permit to burn during burn season.
Okay. I knew that.
Yeah.
But my question is, it's a far stretch. It's a very far stretch to apply that to my cigar.
Mm-hmm. To sit there and say, hey, yeah, you can't use this,
You're
you can't
burning
use
leaves.
that.
You're burning leaves, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand not going out with my torch and burning my weeds
Mm-hmm.
during the height of summer in a windstorm.
My thinking is in this is like I said, this sounds like the Bureau of Land Management wrote it, and then everybody else just said copy paste.
By the way, that guy just died.
The copy paste guy.
Yeah, the guy that invented copy paste.
Yep.
He just passed away.
Mm.
So he controls it himself.
Mm.
It was just simply the same phrase over and over again. What?
Well, he fell on the keys, so it just copy pasted.
Yeah. So we've got that going. Other stuff in the locality. Let me think. I had something. I'm trying to remember. Might have a goldfish.
Yeah, we had the governor
Oh yeah, the governor was here.
visit.
Yeah, he visited Black Cow.
He visited Black Cow? No, our place.
Our place. Black Cow, our place. One of the coffee shops.
Yeah, one of the coffee shops.
And seems to have a lot of good stuff to say about what he plans on in his next term,
Okay.
trying to help protect the rural counties.
Oh, okay. Which is funny that you say it here.
Yeah.
In a rural county, but it's like, okay.
Yeah, it does sound like pandering, but
Yeah, it really does when you start sitting there and saying, hey, I'm gonna try and do stuff to protect the rural counties, and I'm like, I just want to know what you're gonna try and do with this whole F1 debacle. If that's the city, if you have any say in that, if you can push that a little bit, where you're like, no, because everyone's making fun of the factor of Vegas. It was already harder enough to drive on the strip, and then all of a sudden you have F1 come through. And it seems like the paint lines are just all gone.
What paint lines?
Yeah.
They're suggestions.
Well, I mean, those painted lines are supposed to be like stay in your lane, and you're like, this is all my lane now.
Yeah.
So the entire strip is F1.
You get your swerve on?
In slow-mo.
It's under a caution?
Even slower. It's 5 miles an hour.
Got to keep the tires warm.
Dodge the pedestrian.
Got to keep the tires warm.
How does the grass grow?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what was coming up locally, but I can't think of it.
Song says good evening, Michael.
Who does?
Sean.
Sean?
Who probably did not hear you.
Hey, Sean, call my phone. We'll try to get you on the air.
All right, I'm like, as you guys might not be able to see this, but I have the soundboard in front of me, so I have to be on the ready for this because.
Right. What this is a dynamic test of on the air.
Yeah. Well, you're throwing me another curveball.
Does it ever pre-test anything?
No.
I don't test shit.
Yeah, exactly. We know this.
You know who else don't test shit?
Who?
The FBI.
What?
So I was listening to the testimony today because Kash Patel is being grilled.
Okay.
At the senatorial level, and some dingus who doesn't know the difference between a boy and a girl is complaining that the FBI's testing standards are discriminatory.
The testing standards to get into the FBI, or
yes.
Oh, okay.
The physical testing.
Okay.
Because they are discriminatory against women.
Okay.
Because they are distinctly distinct biologically and physiological differences between male and female.
Uh-huh.
Okay, this is one of the same dinguses that says trans, M to F trans
Mm-hmm.
are women. But there is distinct biological and physiological differences between a man and a woman.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Having it both ways. Okay? Did you call me, Sean? No. Nobody's called me. Somebody call me. Call me. So, would you like to guess at what they're complaining about? What
What?
particular exercise?
Push-ups?
Pull-ups.
Really?
Okay? Want to take a guess on how many pull-ups are required to join the FBI?
4?
Less.
1?
1. A pull-up. Must do a pull-up.
Okay.
1. Just 1.
Just 1.
Just
yeah.
one.
Well, because
It was ringing and it hung up.
the vast majority of time, like, if you're doing that, it's because all of a sudden, hey, you have to pull yourself over a fence or something of that nature. So
Mhm.
it's kind of freaking important that you can do that.
Okay, so it's not letting me do it. Sorry, Sean. Something's up with the cabling. It's not letting me talk to you. So, how about that?
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous to sit there and be like, hey, no, we're going to complain about this because it's not working this way or that way. Thank goodness.
Take those damn things off.
Oh, yeah. That's so freaking nice to actually be able to hear you and not be able to just hear that.
Yeah. So,
Plus, my ears were getting super hot and humid.
humid?
Humid,
You got
yes.
humidities?
No, I don't have humidities. I just felt the earwax.
You have a
just
humidor?
being like, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, they're complaining about one pull-up and how it disadvantages women.
Which is kind of absurd to sit
Okay.
there and be like, yeah,
Okay.
that's that. How many does a guy have to do?
1.
One. Are you fucking kidding
The
me?
standard is
Are you fucking
I am
kidding?
old.
The factor that it's 1 for 1 and that's what they're complaining about, and they're like, well, yeah.
Okay, I am old. I am broken in many, many places.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to be applying for a job that required one pull-up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I could dredge one out of my old broken
Oh,
body.
I'm pretty sure.
work for the FBI. I'm pretty sure I can get myself to the point of doing one pull-up. Yeah.
Yeah. At that point in time, I'm like, I think I could right now, but I'm pretty sure my shoulder
Okay.
would just be like, no, why are you doing that right now?
So to answer this in a somewhat more, I don't know, culturally open thing, let's take a look at some females.
Okay.
I like to look at females. Do you?
Okay.
Wrestlers, particularly.
Female wrestlers?
Female wrestlers.
Okay. Like, are you talking WWE or
Yes,
are you talking?
talking WWE.
Okay.
Because I'm using that as a national.
I didn't know if you were talking about like Greco-Roman wrestling in the Olympics
No.
or something of that nature.
So,
And I'm pretty sure every single one of them can do one pull-up.
so
'Cause I've
recently,
literally seen them pull several other individuals down.
Yes.
So, okay.
recently in a match, it was within last year. Rhea Ripley was wrestling, and it was they had him in cages to start the match.
Okay.
And just to fuck around, she busts out 20 pull-ups.
Yeah.
You know?
So why are they? This just reminds me of the people who bitch just to bitch,
Wrestling's fake.
and then they ask you. They're like, oh, so what restaurants do you like? Like, we joke around on here about Pahrump doesn't really need another Mexican restaurant.
No.
But if all of a sudden I'm like, well, what Mexican restaurant do you really like? And they're like Taco Bell. I'm like, then yeah. Then
Oh.
at that point in time, like, nah.
Your opinion doesn't matter anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have a couple comments to read for-
Nobody got
So,
peanut gallery.
Jason also says hi to you, gentlemen.
Howdy, Jason.
And Nicole wanted to say hi. Hi, everyone. I have to say how awesome our community is. On Saturday, we had about 70 volunteers that showed up to make 31 beds for kids in Nye County.
Oh, that's awesome. That is
31 beds
awesome.
for Nye County.
Kids that need to bed have their parents fill out the form on their webpage at Sleep and Happiness.
Oh, that's
Absolutely. So
awesome.
sleep in heavenly peace. If your kid needs a bed, that is the place. If you're economically disadvantaged,
Okay.
they're a great group of people. I really like them. Um, so
Basically, their MO is no kid should sleep on the sleep on.
Yeah. And like, I remember
do
when
you
I,
have your mic on, Amy?
I do.
Okay, so good.
well, are you on number 3?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, do you not have me turned up?
I didn't have you turned up because I saw that number 4 was muted. So,
I
yeah.
believe I'm on number 3.
Say that again, Amy.
I'm on number 3. So Nicole commented about how awesome the community is. They had 70 volunteers turn out and made a total of 31 beds for kids in Nye County with
And
sleep
yeah,
in heavenly peace. So if you are a parent and your young one could use a bed, please go to their website and fill out a form to make the request.
That's awesome. 'Cause that's
yeah,
one of those things where it's like, I remember, like, even when I was a baroque airman when I first moved out of the dormitory, like, I think I used my futon frame as my bed frame. And my wife can testify because she met me when I still had bachelor pad style. Because it didn't support it, the bed like feed into the center. So she like woke like I of course
Rolled inward.
I used to sleep dead center, so what would happen? Whoop, she literally rolled towards me and I was like, it's forced cuddling. Yeah.
I
But
had the same futon when I was about 21, 22 years old.
so that's awesome though that they're helping out with that because that does help lift you up. And then especially like right now, uh Scorpion. It's Scorpion season.
it is. It is
Oh,
scorpion,
Scorpion and rattlesnakes have been
rattles,
coming out.
centipedes.
check your
Yep.
shoes, everyone.
Well, I mean, we've been doing,
Get over here.
and it's especially important because, like, my house, we don't have just spring cleaning. We have spring cleaning, we have fall cleaning. It's we need to get all the winter stuff out because we've had to stay inside to stay warm, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now we need to change this up as the temperature drops below 100. My wife is like, it's 92 degrees out today, so what should we do? We should do all the yard maintenance. Yeah,
God.
I usually wait until the 80s personally. I'm still waiting. Yeah.
I can understand that,
And
but
I
it,
can't burn anything for another month anyway.
yep.
So I'll wait.
Which I once again I find kind of interesting because for out here, one of the best times to go through and gather all that stuff up, and it's not like they have a restrict where it's they just restrict that. Like even if you were old school, like my grandparents,
Yeah.
they had a burn barrel because they were on septic, so they didn't. How can I put this? You weren't allowed to flush the toilet paper
They
or
burned
anything
it.
else.
Mm.
It was bodily fluids, body mass that was able to go down. Everything else
Went in the bucket.
went in the bucket, and then that went out to the burn barrel when it was full, and whoop, and that was enclosed for that reason.
Oh, Sean just commented that Oklahoma also surprisingly has scorpions too.
Wow.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do know that Oklahoma also has tarantula migrations too.
Ew.
And if you've never been around one of those, it is scary as bejeebus because here are these anywhere from like nickel size all the way up to $half all over the place, as well as then you have the adult ones. So,
So on a national level, we have some interesting developments.
like what?
Well, the first thing is, remember the old guy that got detained initially,
Yeah.
putting Charlie Kirk,
Uh-huh.
the one that shouted, "I shot Charlie,"
Mm-hmm.
that may or may not have been diversion.
Okay.
He's under arrest again.
Okay.
Whoa.
One should not put yourself on the radar of local, state, and federal law enforcement if you have pictures of underage individuals on your
Ew.
phone.
Ew.
Yeah.
Jeepers creepers.
Well,
Put them in a wood chipper.
to get our mind off of that, Sean also said he found his first tarantula 3 nights ago.
Yeah, see?
You know what we should do with
I
it?
would rather picture tarantulas than what that
And
guy had
you know
on
what we
his
should do with that guy?
Wood chipper 'em?
Which
Tarantulas.
tarantula
Tarantulas.
swarm. Yeah.
Tarantula and scorpion swarm?
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, that came to light earlier today.
Oh.
that he has been rearrested for different charges. But to go with that, Kash Patel, in his testimony today, was very candid about the fact that they are investigating a minimum of 20 additional individuals involved in this
Okay.
that may have known ahead of time,
Okay.
that may have been involved in planning, financing,
Wow.
covering up after the fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of conspiracy theories that are coming out with this too. That like he was wearing a vest, and I saw you the other day wearing a vest, and I was like, it it definitely changes
Yeah.
the contour,
Contours the body.
of the
Yes.
body. And they were like, oh, you could see it right here. It bounced off the. And I'm like, are you freaking serious?
Well, Charlie does wear a vest, or did wear a vest.
Yeah.
That was his modus operandi. He always did. He had enough death threats that was a reasonable idea. The other fascinating thing is the T-shirt that the alleged killer was wearing.
Okay.
Suddenly showed up at Walmart 2 days later. On sale at Walmart.
Oh,
As in the actual or the
No, the design
the
pattern.
design pattern.
It was not broadly available before the shooting.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm wondering if somebody screen printed the Pubis out of it and
yeah.
marketed
How
it
was
that way,
somebody
but
in
why would it be at
possession to-
Walmart of all places? Because like we've seen this before where people will pop up,
Yes, on a street corner with it.
well, on a street corner,
Yeah.
or they'll mass print it and here it is on a website, whatever. But if it was a physical aspect and in
Like,
Walmart,
to get a product into Walmart
Exactly.
has a little
To
more
get
of a
the
bar.
supply chain happening that
Yeah.
quickly on something, and some of the vandals and the agitators at the various memorials and vigils and that kind of thing
yep.
have all shown up wearing the same T-shirt.
Mm,
Hmm.
That suddenly it's massively available.
yeah,
Um,
that's ridiculous.
and that was within hours. I'm just saying that there are enough elements here to make me go,
Yeah.
hmm.
And I guess the vigil out here had a fairly good turnout.
Yes, it did.
Mm-hmm.
I was at, setting up for the comedy show.
Right.
I spoke with several friends after they returned from it.
And there were no counter protesters or agitators or various ne'er-do-wells here,
Mm.
but that's to be expected. Even if we disagree here, we tend to be fairly.
Well, once again, I am all for civil debate. I am
Mhm.
all for civil discussions. Like I said before, it's one of the reasons why I love Low Side Cigar Lounge is because I know that I can come in here and have that conversation with somebody. We're not getting fisticuff. We're not even getting to the point where it's like yell. No,
Voices don't get raised.
no, voices don't. We may occasionally call you an asshole
Yes, fair enough.
or a dick, but it's like, oh, dude, you're such an asshole, or way to be a dick, something
Yeah.
of that nature. So it's a lot more.
Yes.
The gentle
Friendly ribbing.
course correction.
Yes, it's like son of a bitch. I didn't think of it that way, But it's not like you're trying to bring that person down by any means, and which is awesome.
So the other thing that has cropped up, and this is in the federal legislature,
Okay.
and I said this was going to happen. Said it was going to happen. Voices on the right are now calling for hate speech laws
What the?
Mhm.
to curb freedom of expression. Pam Bondi today
Yeah.
No.
came out and said that we need to curb the First Amendment.
And people are
No.
calling for employers to, basically, look at their employees' social media and people who've spoken in support of,
So
this
and
murder
the-
should not be employed or something. Yeah. I would not speak
No.
that way because I don't agree. But the idea that, yeah,
There is going to be a litmus test. And that litmus test is going to thrash back and forth depending on what side is popular at the moment.
yeah, and that's where I'm like, no, it's it's freedom of speech. We talked about this with the flag burning law,
Mm-hmm.
or the push for that, where all of a sudden, hey, we want to do this, and I'm like, no, I'm not there. That you have, if you're gonna say it's freedom, it's it's free.
Right.
No matter how unpopular.
Uh-huh.
I'm certainly not.
Now, the way to do it is to drown it out. Now, I understand where, hey, uh, sitting there for causes of chaos, aka the, what was it, the Baptist or West,
Oh, them fucks. Yes.
yeah, that used to do it for soldiers' funerals.
Oh,
They're a bunch of assholes, and
Do I think that you should be able to hold a protest and
right
be
there in
heard
view of the family.
from the family that no, I don't believe that you should be able to do that.
like a good neighbor, stay over there.
Yeah. So it that's one of those things where I'm like, you're feel free to have your opinion. Just do it over there. You know, and I mean that's where I've seen it where like promoters can't use electronic equipment to
amplify-
amplify their voice
Mhm.
in Vegas.
Fair enough.
And I'm like, okay, because I can understand that, but the call into question is when it's the religious ones that are coming down there because of freedom of religion, and I'm like, as well as freedom of speech. Can't do it as a promoter, but I know, like,
Oh yeah,
you've gone to Fremont,
I
and
have.
we've all seen the
Mm-hmm.
"You are sinners, come back to Jesus or face damnation," and we're like, dude, it's hot as hell right now.
We're already in hell. Thanks. Buddy.
Yeah. Uh, what's great was the girls that were dressed up as naughty nuns
Uh-huh.
decided to set up shop right in front of them.
Nice.
And it was like, freedom of speech meet freedom of protest. Here you go.
Would
And
be fun if the devil ones had done that too.
so, and that's the thing is, once again, when you look at the Constitution, that is from the government. The government shall not infringe.
Mm-hmm. Now, a private corporation can do whatever the fuck they want, but I'm also not in favor. They can. They are legally allowed to. I don't like the idea of a political litmus test eking its way into employment.
Mm-hmm. I don't like that either.
No.
Where X political party need not apply,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
Yep.
We're going to need to see your voting record, kind of thing.
You know what that sounds like?
Hmm.
China.
China.
China. Yeah, it sounds like China with their social standing
Yeah.
being linked to everything of what you do. AKA, if you jaywalk, they just take it directly out of your account, and they also lower your social score.
Credit score. Yeah.
If you if you have a debate, a discussion,
Oh no, you're on the wrong side.
Ding.
no, period. The fact that well, yeah,
Well,
definitely if you're on
There's
the
only
wrong
one side in China, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I praise glorious leader.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where you're just like,
So we got some interesting stuff coming out of our neighbor next door, California,
okay.
Oh.
our next door neighbor.
I was thinking the pizza joint, right next door.
Well,
'cause-
yes, they are always putting out new and cool things over there.
Yeah.
You got to check out Miava. There's some great pizza, great sandwiches, great burgers.
Yeah. So if you're stopping into
Well, the
Los
fries
Angeles
are
Cigar
not
Lounge
much.
and do that, the other thing is that I like the factor of like they're right there.
And they're happy to walk it over to us.
Uh-huh.
So right now, California is going through a redistricting fight.
Mm.
Okay. Brought to a head by Governor Newsom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. California, years ago, passed a constitutional amendment to the California Constitution that took redistricting out of the California government's hands. There we go.
Right.
That's
Okay.
what I
Like
wanted to use.
said is not going to be partisan.
Exactly. They moved it over to the purview of a nonpartisan independent commission
Okay.
to draw the district maps.
That makes sense.
Okay? Well, right now, there's a proposition on the ballot to relegate that nonpartisan, because right now they have binding authority.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When they draw a map, it's the map.
Yeah.
And when they're looking at maps, they're mainly looking at population.
Yeah.
You know, which they have to change it because population and areas change.
It moves around, yeah. So they're looking to move that from a binding thing to an advisory thing, where the legislature will draw the boundaries. And it was fascinating because when this was trotted out, they already had a map drawn.
Yeah. We want it drawn this way, not that way.
And theoretically, propositions in California have to originate from the people, not the government.
Mm-hmm.
But interestingly enough, the government was all set and ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay? And the reason I'm bringing this up, I'm starting to see the freaking commercials for it here in Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
Why they're asking me anything about it, I don't know. But they are championing it as a critical vote for the freedom of the entire country, not just for California, because they want to impose California's will on the rest of the country.
Yeah. No.
Okay? But here is where I scream the most foul.
Okay.
Okay? When one looks at the groups that are donating to and the groups that are donating against. The donated against is private citizens and this taxpayer group and that taxpayer group and, the usual suspects on the conservative side of California politics. And on the pro side, it's the unions. We expect that. But the number 3 donor to this, number 3 donor, is the 2022 re-elect Gavin Newsom. Yeah, his campaign money from 2022.
Wow.
Which, in my opinion, and my study of campaign finance laws, says you can't do it.
Yeah.
That's against the rules. You can't just throw it into a slush fund and use it to push a proposition.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could see how they're using that as a standing as well. This will help him get reelected.
In 2022.
Well, I mean,
Okay? That even going for his next election, you can't cross him over. Because one is for one campaign, one is for a new campaign.
Yeah.
Campaign finance laws said neither the twain shall meet.
Yeah.
So how this is even remotely legal
Yeah.
is beyond me. But then again, I don't get involved in California politics because it's dirty as hell. But I'm relatively clean.
Oh, you're talking about the politics there, or just California?
California in general. And speaking of California dirt.
Okay.
You want to hear the most South Africa thing you've ever fucking heard?
Okay.
So Newsom is putting together a program to use eminent domain. So government saying you must sell me your land.
Yeah.
At substandard prices. To buy farms or force, because you don't have an option with eminent domain.
Yeah.
You must sell. To acquire farmland from white farmers only. Just whites.
Okay.
And then resell it at sub-market price to minority farmers.
Wow.
Like I said, the most South African bullshit thing I have ever heard.
Just going directly off of this. This is one of the reasons why I like Morgan Freeman. He's like, you stop referring to me as a black man. I'll stop referring to you as a white man.
Fair enough.
But the aspect of it of just going, hey, we're just gonna take it from you. Yes,
you don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice because we're gonna claim eminent domain. We're gonna move you out of there so that way we can move somebody else. Yeah.
Now, they're pointing to a case off the East Coast, and I don't remember what the name of the case was, but it's one of the worst Supreme Court cases ever decided.
Okay.
Where they seized land from one private entity and then gave it to another private entity because the other private entity said they would give more tax money. Now, currently that land still sits vacant, totally empty. And I don't recall the case, but that's the case they're citing to allow them to do this. Still bullshit. But the fact that it's racial based, because white farmers cannot apply to purchase land. It specifically calls out white farmers.
Yeah. And I mean, well, then you got to go through by like what
What
definition?
percentage white?
Yeah. Like, are you sitting there and being like, hey, if you're less than 1/32 or 1/16?
See, I'm going to roll it back to the Jim Crow era um, measurement, the 1 drop measurement.
Hmm.
If you have even 1 drop of African blood in you, you are not white. Which qualifies me. That means I can go buy land in California.
Wow. I'm good. It's one of those things where we've said it time and time again. I know that you and I have had sidebar conversations where we're like, there are places that wouldn't be bad places to live if
Except for
the
people.
politics weren't just atrocious. And the
So,
factor of like, now I'm sitting there and like, even if you wanted to buy a cabin in the woods in California somewhere, and then all
I
of a sudden,
wouldn't.
hey, guess what? You're no longer allowed to own that cabin. I know you bought it for $1 million, but we're gonna buy it from you for $250,000,
Okay.
and then we're gonna sell it for, you know,
400,000.
well, I don't even know if it's gonna
300,000.
be 300 or 400,000, or if they're just gonna be like, oh, you applied for this, yes.
Here you go.
We think that underpoverished people should also have the ability to have a cabin out in the woods.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, another nation tried this once.
Okay.
The Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. They went and seized land from Ukrainian farmers who had been working it for generations that knew how to grow wheat
Mm-hmm.
and was a breadbasket of the Soviet Union. Then they transferred it to Russian farmers that had no idea what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
And then we had one of the largest famines ever under the Soviets.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Holodomor.
It reminds me of a lot of things where all of a sudden they're like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna switch it up from this way to this way to this way to this way.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and some of the land that they're looking at seizing, the family claim to that land is written in Spanish
Oh, wow.
and was transferred into the United States in the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, where land claims were recognized then by the United States.
Wow.
It goes that far back. These were granted by the King of fucking Spain.
Wow. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. So, how's that cigar treating you? I know I'm a little early,
well.
but I want to talk about the cigar before I light one.
No, the cigar's treating me really, really nice. I was kind of surprised that I had to do a relight on it, but I also didn't get a really good light. I had to
Yeah.
blow into it to double check, and I knew it wasn't
Yeah,
fully
and we've
cherried.
been talking.
So,
But I also grabbed us a shorter one tonight, so that's why it's finishing earlier.
but I'm still smoking it all the way down to the wrapper, and that's always a good test to see if it's a really good cigar or not, or a good cigar at the bare minimum, is how far do you smoke it down?
Exactly. How far do you before you stop?
Yeah, and I mean, I think I've only smoked like 2 cigars that it was ever like I got just a part of the way into the cigar.
Yeah,
and
and
I
it
was
was like, no.
no. And one of them was it. This was ages ago, like one of the gas station cigars.
Oh yeah, that wasn't kept well and it's
and-
bitter as fuck. And
Yeah, so it was like, this is
So-
swill.
Cameroon wrappers are very interesting. They're very delicate.
Okay.
They're one of the most delicate wrappers out there, and they're very hard to work with.
Mm.
You still hear me all right?
Yeah, I'm still
you hear
hearing
me?
you all right. I'm just making sure that we didn't pick up an extra person on the
Okay.
microphone.
So it's a very unique flavor, not in a lot of cigars at the moment.
Okay.
This is probably one of the best Cameroons in the marketplace right now.
All right.
And one of the nice things about Karen Burger, Karen herself trained under Don Pedro.
Okay.
And Don, the honorary title, not the first name was Donald or something. But that guy knew cigars.
Yeah.
Recently passed. But he is the cigar most things are judged against, his product. And Karen Burger comes in very close. Still has that same soft box press that a Padron does. It has very complex flavors throughout. So October 3rd, their rep will be here.
Yeah.
So come down and try one first, and then come down for the event. So my follow-on to that is brand new here. It's a Founders cigar,
Okay.
Barber Pole, one of their classics. And I had lit it up before the show, and I'm relighting it now. Because you know me, I don't think you've ever seen me without a cigar in my hand.
Actually, I've seen you without a cigar in your hand mainly because you put it down and you forgot where it was.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We now have a stinky ashtray over at the shop,
Nice.
so I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. So the final thing I wanted to rap about today was, again, Kash Patel.
Okay.
He got questioned about Epstein today.
Okay.
Okay? And I want to know where he figured this out from. Kash Patel says in his testimony before the Senate that there is no evidence that Epstein ever trafficked any underage girls to anyone. Ever. The victims would beg to differ. It just, I find it disingenuous on a federal level that the FBI said, yes, we've got the files. We're going to release the files. They're on Pam Bondi's desk. She's going to release the files, and they released nothing.
Yeah.
And then we're sitting here, and we're going to release the files. We promised we would, and nothing. And then Patel's coming out and saying, there is no evidence that trafficking ever occurred. So what in the actual fuck is Geraldine Maxwell being held on? Because that's what she's been convicted of. It's trafficking. Now, how in the actual fuck is that working? How does that work? You have no evidence, but you convicted somebody? This reeks of a cover-up. Reeks, you say. Reeks. And I am, for one, never had a lot of faith to begin with in the Trump administration, but I have lost all faith that they are ever going to deal with this problem. That this is just going to get swept under the rug like a JFK assassination. And we're going to continue to ask for it, and they're going to continue to deny it for the next 100 years. Till everybody involved has passed away. And then maybe it'll trickle out.
Yeah.
Or not.
But it's still one of those things where it's like, why is it that we have files? The last thing that we got was a flight record. And that was really it. And then it's like, yeah, we have files. We don't have files. We have files. We don't have files. And I'm like, yeah.
We have the actual victims of this whole thing coming out and saying, yeah, we're making a list. I'm waiting for that list, actually. That's going to be the most accurate list. They were there. They're eyewitnesses. And credible eyewitnesses. You know? And there's Trumpy Trump over in Great Britain. Prancing around. With good old Prince Andy, who's named and shamed. I'm just saying. This is almost as bad as the alleged cover-up of methamphetamine by a alleged BOCC member. I'm not letting that drop. Ever. Unlike his boyfriend, who allegedly let it drop out of his pocket. Mostly because District 4 is coming up for vote.
Well,
And I want to make sure people are aware that at least tangentially.
I have a question for you, because I got asked this earlier about FOIA requests. And, like, now that everything's supposedly up and operational again, are FOIA requests? I don't know if you've tried to file one.
I haven't tried to file one since things came back up. And things are not back up. Things are still down. Portions of them.
Because that was a big question that I had from somebody who called me up, literally, and was like, hey, how do you get information about arrests and things of that nature? And I was like,
FOIA.
You submit a FOIA. And he's like, oh, okay, because I was just, I figured if someone knew, it'd be you. And I was like, actually, I've never done a FOIA request,
Mhm.
mainly because I was, in the military at that point in time, and I'm like,
You were subject to FOIA requests.
yeah, I don't like this. And
If you're looking for stuff out of an arrest or out of the sheriff's department,
mhm.
go on their website or through their app. There is a way to submit a FOIA request from the app.
Oh, that's nice.
And you'll need some information, obviously, the what, the when, the where.
Mm,
You know, if you have a case number, that's always helpful because that way they can pull the case file
yeah,
and be able to dump that for you
yeah.
and get the
Because
body cam
I
footage.
think it's important for um, the people, our viewers and stuff like that, to know some of the things of like how we get information
That's one of the ways we get information.
is by FOIA requests and why it's so important to get those FOIA requests every once in a while.
And I also submit FOIA requests to get information on people so I can pressure them into giving me information. But hey, a reporter's got to do what a reporter's got to do. So
Yeah.
it is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I am still tracking the John Falcon alleged crime. It just right now it's in a holding pattern. But that does not reduce the fact that tangentially, allegedly, one of our commissioners is related with or is involved with someone who is a user of illegal drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very difficult to hide
Yeah.
the use of illegal drugs, especially in that quantity.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying he knows. I'm not saying he doesn't. But logic would say,
Yeah. I know it's new season that's coming up and everything else, and that's where I think having guests on, having them go through, like I'm all for it, but we're gonna be here to ask
so
questions.
I'm actually going to do something that, in honor of Charlie Kirk,
Okay.
Ron, Mr. Boscovich, I know that you have operatives that listen to the show. Mr. Boscovich, I am inviting you to sit with us
Okay.
and give your side of things. And we'll have a discussion.
If you're willing for it, yeah, by all
I'm
means.
always, like I said, this is in honor of Charlie Kirk because he was always willing to sit down and have a discussion.
Sit down and have a discussion.
So
His big thing was, hey, change my mind. Like, okay,
exactly,
let's
Ron.
sit down and have a civil discussion.
Ron, change my mind. Change my mind. Go for it.
But it's
So
it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'm looking forward to having guests on. I always like it when we have our viewers write in.
right in. We'll try to have him call in someday when I figure this
Yeah,
shit
we
out.
can actually figure it out. But it's one of those things where like I appreciate that factor of we have that open decorum with them to be able to write it in on Facebook when we do these live. And yeah, and you know, I know that with YouTube, we're gonna have to go through and every once in a while look at comments.
It actually alerts me
Oh, it alerts you when somebody makes a
since
comment.
I'm the studio owner
That's
on
nice.
it. It alerts me when there's a comment. So if you want to comment on our Facebook or our YouTube stuff, which is linked on our Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, exciting, and I'll be linking this soon to our Facebook page and to our YouTube, is we are going to start a Patreon account.
Oh,
An
nice.
opportunity for y'alls out there that like the show.
Yeah.
If you want to kick us $1
Yeah.
to help support us, because none of this is free. The cigars aren't free. The
Nope.
equipment isn't free.
Nope. None of that's free.
None of it's free. So, it gives you an opportunity to support the show if you really like us. We're not going to start like the OnlyFans kind of bullshit where you're going to see Jacob's nipples. Or you can pay me to keep my clothes on.
I think they might just pay you to keep a hat on so that way the glare isn't so bad
Fair
in
enough.
the camera.
Fair enough.
Get this man a hat.
Start wearing my helmet.
But yeah, I mean, I once again, I love this town, but there is a certain amount of people that literally constantly and consistently say, "Hey, there's nothing to do in this town," and there is so much stuff that you can do in this town, time and time again.
Meth.
No, I'm not talking about meth. I'm literally talking about events that are going on, and I do appreciate that Pahrump Valley Time actually has that stuff
Cool.
listed
What do we got
on
going?
there.
What do we got coming?
I mean, right now Tuesdays they don't. I have not seen a Tuesday update list just yet. I think it drops more like Wednesday, Thursday because they do it to where it's like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything's going on from car shows. Of course, we are now in September.
Fall Fest is coming.
Fall Fest is coming, and so it'll be interesting to see how it goes this year.
We'll be listening to the scanner.
Yeah, listening to the scanner, seeing how that goes.
On the Saturday show, I may actually put it in my ear.
Yeah, I, I, I don't know how well that's gonna go for you, just due to the factor of you get kind of squirrely Dan,
I do.
and then it's like
Or I may just sit the scanner here on the table
mm,
so we can both hear it.
I no, because I might get really squirrely Dan, because all of a sudden we'll be doing this, and if they can't hear it, then it's like
That I should be actually able to pipe into the soundboard.
yeah.
That one's an easy pipe.
Yeah, but then you have people talking over people, and it's like,
True.
I mean, but
All right. I'm ready to
Jacob.
wrap. I'm Michael. This has been yet another edition of
What
What
the
the Fuck?
Thanks for tuning in.